కాలేదు ఇంకా 3 కాలే కదా
వచ్చేసారు ఎగ్జామ్ జనాలు వచ్చారు
వచ్చారు మన స్టార్ట్ కాదు
After 5:30, I log on after 5:30. I'm there till 5:30. For 5:30. Also there, 1 hour at least. 1 to 2 hours I'm there. But because the team is there with them.
Mantra is coming.
Mantra is coming. Regarding going present to them, they will also be immediately listen. Don't worry. हो जाएगा पर अच्छा ये इसमें जो है ना दोनों तरफ से डिप्लोमेटिकली हैंडल करो एक तो मांगो और दूसरा जो है ना जो भी स्टैंडर्ड कॉमन है उसके लिए हाँ भाई फिर
Hello. Uh, Good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible.
Yeah, namaste. This is GR Shinde, and you are audible and clear.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hi, Kanesh.
Hello.
Good evening to you. I'm Colonel Manish here, and good evening to everyone.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Sorry for the slight delay. There was some technical issue.
Not at all,
I'll,
not at all.
I'll just
Not at all. It's all comfortable, sir. No issue.
okay. I'll just share my screen, sir, for the PPT. Then we can take on the challenges. I'll just give you a brief about IDEX. Just give me a minute, sir.
Sure.
Hi, sir. I hope my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible to
Okay, perfect.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good evening, everyone. This is Kanesh Vashne, Program Executive at Innovation for Defense Excellence, Defense Innovation Organization. Uh, we have recently launched, this is an outreach session for ADITI 2.0 and DES 12 challenges. I hope the slide is changed, sir. Just give me a confirmation.
Yes, your slide has changed.
Perfect. So, as per the Aatmanirbharta mission and our vision from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this was the need of the hour that we need self-reliance and indigenization in defense technologies. And with that aim, in 2018, uh, Innovation for Defense Excellence is a central government scheme. And for that, Defense Innovation Organization under the aegis of Department of Defense Production Ministry of Defense was set up to help foster the innovation ecosystem in India. And there are three pillars which we mainly focus on is foster innovation ecosystem, the involvement of private sector into the defense ecosystem, which was previously a very closed ecosystem where no openness was entertained. But after the uh, scheme which was launched, it has become quite an open ecosystem where anyone who has the capacity and competency to make and build for the nation is entertained. So the context and background of DIO, as I told by Honorable Prime Minister in 2018, Defense Innovation Organization was launched. The aim was to accelerate development, innovation, and science in defense sector, promote private investments and innovators in the defense ecosystem of India, to promote self-reliance and indigenization of technologies, and to uh, reduce the imports which we were dependent on. And as per the current geopolitical situation, which you can see, where we don't have a proper supply chain for most of the products, it is very important for everyone, every nation to have their own supply chain and to build upon that. So just to give a brief, it was IDEX was launched in 2018. Uh, technologies, innovative technologies, and the technologies which are already been there or we have got imported from other countries, we started building on them, improvising them, and getting how to reduce the import content and make our own, make in India. We have currently been engaged with 450 plus startups and MSMEs. The rapid prototyping scale is somewhere around 12 to 24 months, where we normally get a developed product or a technology which can be inducted directly into the services. The AON, acceptance of necessity of 37 items worth 2,300 crores have been already been cleared. That means the services have given a green light to equipments and technologies worth 2,300 crores to be inducted in the services directly. We have currently we are currently have developed 50 plus cutting edge technologies. The whole ecosystem is built on the features of design thinking and innovation, which is to identify the problem. Then what the MSMEs, private sector, and the innovators can bring into those technologies and innovate. Innovation is a part of the IDES ecosystem, integrate and indigenize. To give you a brief about the IDES journey, we started in 2018 and now we are standing at 2024, where there has been a super exponential growth in the whole ecosystem of India under the government and complete support of the government in terms of policy making and funding. Which encompasses the ecosystem access. We have an ecosystem access ecosystem of pan-India partner incubators. We currently stand at 28 partner incubators, which involves the esteemed IITs and IIMs. IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad are some of our technical partner incubators, which foster and help the startups and MSMEs who are directly or indirectly related to us technically, and whatever the issues they have and whatever the issues they have always faced, they can always rely on these our ecosystem partners to help them. The IP is with the current ecosystem and the innovation ecosystem in India growing at a pace. It is always a concern that who will hold the IP for the products and the technologies the innovators are developing. So the intellectual property which a startup, MSME or an innovator develops is completely theirs. The government of India and DIO holds no right over it. It's completely and 100% the right of the innovator to hold the intellectual property right to that. The ease of applications. After this, I'll just give you a brief about the portal and how easy it is to apply for any challenge of your genre or an idea which you have of your own, and to apply an open category or the this category. We currently have three grant schemes, which is 1.5 CR, which is the DISC and the OC category. Prime, which is a 10 crore grant, and ADITI, which has a grant up to 25 CR. The only thing which is of utmost importance is this grant is only applicable at the point where the startup innovator or MSME brings the same amount out of their own pocket. So if we DIO are giving a grant of 1.5 CR, which is the maximum limit, it is the responsibility of the startup to bring 1.5 CR out of their own pocket. The aim behind this thing is to have skin in the game, so that it is not like other normal schemes and incubator grants, which is just we give and the project gets delayed. It is just to make sure that the innovators, MSMEs who apply are serious about the technology, and we as an ecosystem wants them to be serious and get it incubated at a faster pace. That's why whatever grant you are asking from DIO, you should always have the same amount out of your own pocket. That's the concept of matching contribution. Mode of application for ADITI and DESC and Open Challenge, we have a portal where the innovators, incubator, MSMEs, and anyone who wishes to apply can directly make an account and apply for any of the challenges. So what IDEX at the crux does. IDEX, with its complete ecosystem, we are closely coordinating with the defense services of India, where we ask for the problem statement from all the defense services, be it Army, Navy, Air Force, DPSUs, MHA. They provide us with the problem statements. Our team at IDEX DIO, we curate those problems, understand what the problem demands, and we float those problems pan India for any of the startup, MSME, or innovator to apply. Once they apply, there's a complete high-powered selection committee which decides on the merits of the application. And once they find that there is a competency for the innovator that they can make it, the contract for developing that technology or product is granted to that firm or innovator. So I guess you all have the basic understanding of what IDEX and DIO does. Now I would request the NO for the specific challenge to take on the dais and explain the challenge and the things which the challenge entails. Please, sir. Sir, I hope Lieutenant Commander Kuldeep is in the meeting.
Lieutenant Commander Abhishek, I am from
From DIT, sir. Okay, sir. Perfect, sir. You can take this, dice, sir. You can explain the challenge, sir.
Okay, so I'm Lieutenant Commander Abhishek Deep from INICAI, Incubation Center of Artificial Intelligence for Indian Navy. So we have a problem statement in disk 12, which is challenge number 8. It is the offline language translation solution for Indian Navy. So essentially, we all know that natural language processing has progressed very far, and there are many models available in the open source which do the transcription, analysis, emotion detection, then voice recognition, speaker recognition, and other thing. So this problem statement, what we are talking about, is divided into 3 modules, which is encompassing the requirements of Indian Navy. So first module is real-time language translation solution for training schools of Indian Navy. So training schools of Indian Navy impart training to various foreign trainings from other friendly foreign countries. So essentially, what we want is a real-time language translation solution. It can be set up in a classroom, and it can enable the real-time translation between the instructor and the students in the foreign languages. So it has to work both way around, English or Hindi language to the foreign languages, and then foreign languages to the English or Hindi language. Then the second solution is offline language translator solution for the ships which are going at the sea. So this translation solution, basically what we are looking forward is, we receive a lot of intercept when we go for deployments. So essentially we are looking for a translation tool which works in an offline environment. It takes the radio intercepts in the Indian Ocean region language and my own coastal language, and then translates it to English language. And also other way around, if I want to translate any English audio or text to the respective language, it should be able to do that. The third tool is automatic translation solution and analysis solution for cockpit voice recordings for A squadrons of Indian Navy. So at present, what happens that whenever these aircrafts and fighter aircrafts go for sorties, they have audio data available with them for each sortie. So after every sortie, this audio data is to be manually transcribed, and then analysis is taken on that. So we want this process to be automated, wherein we can feed this cockpit voice recording. It automatically transcribes it. It identifies the speakers, like who has said what in the entire conversation that has taken place, and then does the emotional analysis and a behavior analysis for each of the speaker in the particular audio file. So this is broadly the offline language translation solution that we are looking for Indian Navy. So if anyone is having any question, they can ask.
Hi, sir. I have a question. I'm Ashlyn from Exact Space.
Okay.
based out of Bangalore. So these models that are expected to be in an offline solution.
Mhm.
So since most translation models that are available now are like open source models, like for example Whisper, uh, have the majority of the most like main languages are there, but in the proposal you've mentioned there are some languages which are not like very mainstream, like Houthi, Yemen, Somali, etc. So is there some data that we'll be able to train on? Which is that will that be given to us? And these recordings that you were saying talking about, will those be given to us for testing?
No, so here you will have to collect the data because, like you said, these models are open source. If I had to go by a open source model, then probably I would have developed it myself. So
Hmm.
that is where you come into the picture. I expect you to collect the data, train the
Hmm.
models from scratch, and also the models which are available will not work in a maritime domain because in
Okay.
maritime domain there will be multiple other challenges, like there will be various kinds of multiple kinds of noises. There will be white
Right.
noise, there will be radio chatter, and other things. So these models which are there in open source will not work in maritime domain. So that is what I expect you to collect data and then train these models from scratch.
Okay. So you're expecting like a neural network model for all of these different languages and not like an
You can
LLM
you
based.
can you can have a single model encompassing all the language, or you can have multiple lightweight models for each of them. So that I
Hmm.
leave it up to you.
Okay, got it.
Anyone else with any of the query? You can definitely ask her.
Hi, sir. Is it Mayank here?
Hi, Mike.
Hi. So just we want to know that what are the hardware specification that you want to run the systems? Is a local, online, a cloud-based system or locally on hardware?
We
Or
are
is any hard?
expecting both of a local standalone system and a cloud system. Standalone system will come into picture when my ship goes at the sea. They don't get connected to the cloud. Then we are expecting cloud solution wherein we can take data from various commands of Indian Navy and then do a central analysis sort of thing. So both solution we are expecting.
Yeah, I'm Sujit again from Neuronals. So when it comes to the standalone system, is x86 based system is okay, or with the GPU enabling, do you have any power constraints as such? Like we should run it only on the edge, kind
No,
of embedded
we
platform.
don't have any power constraint per se. Uh, the only criteria is that the accuracy should not be compromised. So we can have a standalone system which can go with the ship and come back with the ship.
Okay. So it's an offline system basically.
Correct, correct. It at no point of time it needs to be connected to internet.
And also the performance metrics when we really wanted to consider actually how you are
Mhm.
defining the accuracy or the performance metrics.
So accuracy per se, we are expecting 95% of the accuracy. Once you have trained the system, we will probably give you certain recording. It should be word error should be less than 0.05.
Okay.
0.
0.5. What error rate?
95% accuracy I'm expecting minimum.
95.
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
Okay.
And when it comes to really building this data set, when it comes to the different languages, definitely we'll have to work with the language experts and all. Is there any support provided on that basically? Suppose if I have to build a data set for the Somalia, right?
Somali language.
See that is the main challenge. Even Indian Navy won't have that kind of data that is required to train a model from the scratch. So
Okay.
there you will probably have to hire interpreters, curate the data sets for it, and then train your model. So that is where the
Okay.
IP will come.
Okay. We got it. We got it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
And any latency requirement that you people have?
On
So
x86.
like I said, one is real-time solution. So it has to work in real time. And then the other two are not real time, but obviously it should not take too long.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. So may I know that what you expect onto the POC level?
So there is no POC in this thing. I mean, there will be once the contract is concluded with the firm by the IDEX, then you are expected to develop the entire solution, wherein I expect the 95% accuracy on each one of the each module.
So all three use cases you want to solve onto the POC level.
Yeah, correct.
Or can we solve the one use case for the, because the problem is
No,
other the data
this is one problem statement. So what you can do, you can build a single model which can work in all three domains.
Mhm. Okay. And how many languages?
So the languages for the first module will be for only for the friendly foreign countries, which will be 8 or 9 languages. For the second module, it is all Indian Ocean region languages plus my own coastal languages. And the third module will be just English or Hindi transcription, then analysis on it.
Okay.
Plus speaker
Like
recognition.
emotional and all these things.
Yeah,
It's
correct.
plus
Emotion
speaker
and
recognition.
behavior analysis, behavioral patterns analysis.
Okay.
How about this accent problem in generally when we
Dialects and accent, yeah.
dialects and accent is what we observed is
So you
lot
will
of
have to agree. I
accent.
agree. You'll have to cater for all the dialects of a particular language. Then the accents also you'll have to cater. So, like I said, you don't have to use an open source model. Probably the open source models which are available also give good results, but then you have to cater for the Navy specific requirement.
Okay. But what is the timeline for this to build the data?
Yeah.
We have sufficient time.
Jayan sir, I'm Ashwin from Hyderabad. I represent Navisos Technologies. I also work at a firm. We are procuring some of this hardware, H200s plus NVLink from NVIDIA for some of our invoicing processes. Okay.
Okay.
My understanding is you want centralized hardware that can have web APIs that can be consumed anywhere, let's say on a ship. When they cannot access that, they want a local translation. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
So I am procuring right now. I'm procuring this hardware for my firm where I work as a VP. The hardware costs 3.5, 4 crores. So
Okay.
how do you expect startups to get this hardware and start training and inferencing with models? I'm looking at the quotation right now as we speak.
Okay. So
This is expensive hardware, sir.
no, see, if you have to run it on the standalone, let's take example of Whisper. Whisper you
Whisper
can
is
run
OpenAI,
easily
sir.
on.
Again, it is
Yeah, I know.
with
Whisper is an
third
open
party.
AI.
Yeah.
It is trained. If you download a local Whisper model, you will be probably able to run it somewhere on 11 GB GPU VRAM. Okay, so that is somewhere costing you around 2 to 3 lakhs for one standalone unit. Okay, for training per se, there are since I don't mind you training it on the cloud network because you are collecting the data, you are preparing the model, so you can use the open source. I mean the cloud architecture available with you. You can hire this thing and then you can train these models. But the inference per se, I am quite sure these models can run on 16 GB, 20 GB require this GPU VRAM.
For inference,
Yeah, inference.
have we done anything internally on the on this requirement? So have we tested with any of the hardware? Have we tested with any of the models? What is the result that you have gotten so far?
So we have been doing it on the open source model, like I said. So open source models are not good when it comes to maritime domain. That is one thing. However,
Okay.
we can easily squeeze these models on a 16 GB laptop for inference.
Which model was that, sir?
It is Whisper, large V3.
Okay.
I'm sure if you are working in this domain, you must be aware of it.
Yes, sir. I'm
It's
checking the hardware
not
requirements
just
for
the
V3
Whisper, there are
also.
other models which are also available.
And you're model agnostic. It doesn't matter what model it is, as
Yeah,
long as it serves the
as
purpose.
long as you are able to achieve the task, I absolutely don't have issue.
Even on the cloud side, sir. Again, I will take a tangent here, and I'll quote another example. We wanted to extract invoice data from 20,000 invoices, 5 pages each on an average. The cloud bill for
Okay.
that was 1.4 crores. So even on cloud, if you train large enough models, the bills are not quite friendly. So let's say if you want something that can be consumed across services, that will be a bigger chunk of hardware essentially. And if we train it on smaller versions, I mean, it can only do so much, is my understanding. We try to use the laptop to work with the same invoice. It took 22 minutes to get data for one invoice, so it's not practical essentially.
See, I don't know which model you were using.
Llama 3.2, sir. 3.1, 3.2.
Llama 3.1 will, no, I have personally used Llama 3.1, 3.2. I'm myself working on a RAG pipeline. No, it doesn't
Okay,
take
sir.
that much of time.
I see.
Probably you did not optimize it properly. That is why you're
Mm.
coming up with these figures.
Quite
I can do
possible,
that
sir.
in 14 seconds.
I see. Quite possible. It could be something we missed.
Yeah,
But I'll go
yeah,
through the hardware requirements and I'll come up with more questions. Thank you for the
yeah,
clarification, sir.
yeah, yeah.
Any other query from any of the innovators or the participants?
Hello?
This is Shinde and no queries from my side.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Just a minute. Hi, is it Mayank again?
Hi, man.
Hi. So in the first part, it's a classroom-based solution that you said that na, ki one language to the another
Correct,
language is
correct,
going to be
correct,
transferred.
correct.
So that solution going to run without internet onto the edge devices or any laptop or desktop kind of thing.
So you will have to basically set up the classroom. Let's say you have a server, you set up a network, and then all the edge devices, maybe tabs or laptops, get connected to that server, and then the inference happens on that server. It's a cloud network sort of thing, which is off the internet.
Which is off the internet.
Correct.
Okay, so but server configurations, other things, is depend upon you people.
I mean, you will have to suggest what kind of hardware you need to run your models.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is like a limited LAN kind of a setup you are looking at.
Correct, correct.
Okay. Because what happened, we did the similar kind of a thing for the defense, actually, from one language to another language translation
Okay,
on a real-time basis almost.
okay,
That solution ran onto the edge devices, NVIDIA Jetson Nano and all this kind of thing. NVIDIA Jetson Orion actually.
okay.
Yeah.
So
So that's
understood.
why. Yeah.
See, we don't mind until it should cater for my requirement. You can propose your own hardware.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I hope the queries related to this challenge have been cleared. Any other query is there from any of the participants? Thank you, sir. Thank you. I would request Commander Deepak from VESI. Is Commander Deepak in the meeting? Commander Deepak from VESI. Any of the representative from VESI?
Hello.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, hi. This is Lieutenant Shom, this is from Bessie.
Hello, sir. So I guess you are taking challenge number 7 and 10, right? Right, sir?
I'm taking charge of number 10, the design and development of underwater smart communication buoy.
Okay, sir. We also have challenge 7, development of indigenous solid state amplifier, sir, from VESI.
So if I can deliberate on number 10, meanwhile, I'll contact the concerned officer too.
Sure, sir. I'll just forward it to problem statement 10, which is the underwater smart communication, sir. You can please explain the challenge, sir, and then nitty-gritty.
Yeah, hi, good evening, everyone. So the problem statement is design and development of underwater smart communication buoy. So as you all know, the underwater domain poses a lot of challenges in detection and surveillance of, we can say it even a submarine or a ship, right? To tackle this problem, what we have thought of, we can develop a underwater smart communication buoy that can be deployed at any depth. Per se, the maximum depth which we want to operate is at 200 meters. And it should be able to come up once in 24 hours, transmit the signal, and relay back to the preset depth. So it has to have a variable programmable depth setting and surface at regular programmable intervals. And what we are looking for basically that payload per se. So there are a lot of it has two components basically. One is the hardware part and the software part. So first, if you're able to prove the hardware part basically, which requires it has to go to a certain depth, be there for some time, come back on top and relay the signal to us on the ground control station. So since coming up, emerging and submerging requires a lot of battery consumption mostly. So that thing we have to cater for, that what should be the idle weight of the buoy that we can work upon. Basically, as per the challenge part, the maximum endurance we have kept is around 90 days. And the weight we have proposed is around 40 to 80 kgs. So based on that, we'll be seeking a few inputs basically. If it is able to sustain for 90 days, and that weight requirement which we have projected is around 40 to 80 kg is good enough to go, right?
Yeah, understood, sir. Rajaraman from Variatech.
Yeah. Hi.
Please
So
go
that is the first is the mechanical part. Second is the sensor part basically. So sensor part, either we can go with a acoustic vector sensor, we can go with the set of hydrophones, and it should be having edge computing basically. So what happens if I'm monitoring for 24 hours per se, right? And it is supposed to come up on top once and relay the signal back to us. But in 24 hours, there's no signal of our relevance, right? It's just only the sound wave, that's only the noise part which is consuming. Or in case if it detects something, there should be a provision that it should relay back on top to me and relay the signal, right? So that at least I can send some ship or any craft to inquire the area, basically that there has been some movement or some detection in that particular area.
Yeah.
And we have to make it tamper proof basically. What happens, there are a lot of phishing that happens. It may happen, it may get stuck in some fishing vessel, or somebody else may cut it off and take it along with them. So it has to be GPS enabled basically. So I'll be able to know my position of the buoy where it was located in the initial time. And once it comes on top on 24 hours, I should be able to know the location. Mean per se, if it doesn't come in 24 hours, then I know there's something wrong with the buoy, right?
Yeah.
So those all things we are for basically roughly with the broad idea which I told you.
Yeah.
So we're good to go with the question now.
Yeah. Question number one, when you say this is to be indigenously developed, can we use the transmitter? Can we use imported transmitter from Europe or US and all that? Is that allowed in this, or
What sort of transmitters are we talking about?
satellite communication?
Yeah, satellite
Or
communication
what kind of?
basically, see, once it has to come on top, it has to communicate to satellite communication. We can go with the iridium, or we can go with the
So that is
this thing,
allowed.
our own university. Yeah, that is allowed. But that has to be an encrypted
Okay.
form. It shouldn't happen that that information is used against us by the countries.
Understood. And it should also have a self destruction mechanism if you don't
Right. If
want it
some, if
to
you, yes,
give
yes, yes.
give and see these yo-yo type communication systems, buoyancy systems. There are two types of things. One is you have it moved in one location that you prefer, and it works only in that location, going up and down on a daily basis as you want it. The other
Right.
one is the self-drifting thing. You deploy it, and then it will do the work, but it will be drifting with the current and the other forces like that. It can come up anywhere, send the data to you, and then go back inside. There's a buoyancy engine inside which will go up and down and all that. So,
So
what
no,
type of thing?
what happens in this case if I got an area of interest, right, where I want to deploy it. If you understand the basic,
Yeah.
there's a very big difference how the EM waves and acoustic waves work, right? So there's
Right.
the temperature, pressure, salinity. That depending upon that my acoustic waves will vary. So if I'm getting that, if I want to deploy it around 40 to 80 meters of depth, right? That's my probable area of interest. So I want it to be there for that time, right? Because I know that
Yeah,
is the
that's correct.
probable area.
It won't. You prescribe what depth it should dive down and come up. That will be programmed easily. The part where I'm asking is whether you want it to be moved in one location, and in that location only it will collect the data and transmit to you, or you want it to be a free drifting thing where you just
No, no,
deploy it and then
we
it
want,
travels
we want it to be at a certain depth.
moored location. And
Yeah.
I mean, it will go up and down at the prescribed depth that you specify.
Right.
Because it is going to, it's going to be a self buoyant and
It
loading
can be moved
mechanism.
down to the base basically at the
Okay,
bottom, but it
okay.
has to be remain at
Yeah.
a certain
Yeah,
lat long, we
in
can
one
say, per se.
location, but
Water, yes, right.
yeah, so it gets anchored to one location where you want it, and then it will operate within that location up and down and continue to send you data.
Right.
So that is the kind of thing that you will require.
So
Okay.
what we are looking is the larger picture basically. Once we are able to prove this technology and all, so we have built a single buoy, right? So over time we can develop a network of buoys, right?
Yeah, I
So
understand.
instead,
Yes.
and one we can make as the primary buoy, right, which will collect signal from all buoys, come on top and transmit back. In that case, the need for every buoy to come up, right? That
it will have its own
will not be there, right?
timing.
So the first thing, the main challenge is to make that buoy that we can later on term as a primary buoy, which we are looking for right now.
Okay. And what are the sensors that you wanted in the initial prototype?
Sensor initial prototype,
the sensor, it will go up and down. For that, there will be a pressure sensor that determines the depth. Is there anything else? I mean, and there will be a communication system which will transmit that
there will be
once it
communication
pops up to
system.
the surface.
There will be hydrophones you can use. You can use an acoustic vector sensor. Right. So it is basically then there has to be a DAC basically data acquisition card.
In the initial transmission stage, it can be just the temperature and the salinity of the seawater where it is deployed, and there will be room for additional payloads.
We can use cheaper hydrophones. There are a lot of hydrophones which at a very minimal cost which is available in the market. We can use those hydrophones.
Yeah, we can have
prove
the
the
hydrophones.
technology
Only
once.
challenge will be to the challenge will be the power consumption of these hydrophones. So
No, hydrophones don't consume that much power. The main challenge of power consumption is per se if it has to go up and down. That will consume a lot of power.
Yeah, that also, and the transmission of this hydrophone data to through satellite network
To the satellite link.
That will take a lot of power. In fact, we are actually working.
So as most of the industry reps are here, that's why in the starting of the problem statement, really, I only mentioned it that we have to cater for the battery consumption part per se, and how much should be the weight basically, right?
Yeah.
Because as per my understanding and all, I have discussed with few people, so that is the weight which we have set right now, right? But it may happen that somebody that you all agree that no, we can't sustain in this much weight, we can't sustain that much battery per se, right?
So
once the proposal start floating, then we'll get to know what all capabilities you all people have and what all we can develop upon.
Okay. So initially, you want the hydrophone to be part of the prototype.
That's what you can undertake. It's like if you have an acoustic vector sensor, nothing like that. It all depends on what payload and how well you are able to how well the sensor you choose that is able to perform.
Yeah, we deal with data buoys, which has a lot of sensors in the buoyancy package that will stay subsurface and collect data for a long time and pop up and all that. Whereas the acoustics is a bit challenging, mainly because of the volume of data that passes through that we are actually working on. So thank you very much. That's the input that I wanted to have from you.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. This is Sath from Rosa Technology Private Limited. So, in the problem statement has been mentioned that buoys are being used currently, which are not made in India. Can you get the details of those buoys?
So those are the buoys which are used by our friendly foreign countries.
Okay.
Right.
So,
you can Google about it. You'll get to know a lot of things which are happening, and that's why we have this side challenge, right? To indigenize those things and to seek the industry and the reps building up in India, right?
Yes, sir.
So that we don't have to import those things.
Okay.
For technology per se, you can have a look at what all the other countries have developed and all. So that's open to you basically.
So, sir, in terms of technology, we have seen buoys that are capable to navigate from the home location to a GPS location where you want the buoy to go deeper and collect information. Do you need that feature also integrated in your buoy?
See, initial part we can have a mood buoy that is placed at a certain location,
Okay.
right? So the main, I told you, the bigger challenge is to cover a lot of area actually, right? So that will require a lot of buoys. So the
Okay.
technology problem per se is to develop one single buoy which is able to do that. Over that, lot of buoys will be placed and that can communicate with each other.
Done.
Because
Understood.
single buoy can't cover the entire ocean, right?
Right.
It may
So,
happen
sir,
today my area of interest is nearby Indian Ocean. Tomorrow I want my area of interest somewhere else.
So, sir, in boys, the technologies have come up that can sustain over a longer period of time, more than 90 days. What they're basically doing when they're surfacing on the ocean, like on the surface, they are then charging their battery via different energy mediums, be it tidal energy, be it wind energy, or be it solar energy, and then going back so that they have a more sustained life and they can collect more data. So such features are also appreciated in the solution.
Yeah, we can take up that thing. Otherwise, if the 90 days with the present battery setup, if it is able to work with that, right? After 90 days, it surfaces up. If required, we can change the batteries. But if there is some solution where it harnesses the wind energy, it harnesses the tidal energy, it harnesses the solar energy, right? So all those things are welcome, right? But the minimum statement is should be able to sustain for 90 days at least.
So, sir, the challenge with this would be whenever it is going to surface, it has to be on the surface for an extended period of time so that it can recharge its battery. So, does it create some kind of operational hazards, like the boy being detected by the other side or something like that, or it
Then
can
it's like
create?
the passivity part goes down in that case, right? If it is
Okay.
requirement of around 2 hours or 3 hours,
Hmm.
or if somebody detects that every 24 hours this boy comes up here, charges for 2 hours,
Hmm.
right? So there might be some tampering, there might be some data which get leaked over there, right? So
Got
initial
it, sir. Got it.
per se we can say that it surfaces over the time for which it is transmitting, and again goes back.
So stealth being the priority over the number of days, right?
Right.
Basically,
No,
even
but
90 days has to be there.
90 days has to be there.
Okay, got it, got
But
it. Thank you.
passivity part holds more priority here.
Oh, got it. Thank you so much for sir for answering the questions.
Thank you.
One more question. Are we allowed to have any tie-up with foreign companies for any of these things?
Since it's
Or
an
a
IDEX
technology?
thing, if required, DIU can put some light over it. Basically, since it's an indigenized sort of thing, so we appreciate
Yeah.
things to indigenize.
On the mechanical side, of course, we'll be able to develop everything. Some of the electronic components like the transmitter and such things has to be sourced from anyway from abroad. So is there a possibility that we tie up with any of the already companies having this solution and then work with them to indigenize this product and then put it up? Or it should be complete, you just buy it and then fit it to your system and give it to you.
As per the Make in India guidelines, it's like the minimum 50% has to be indigenized content.
Okay. So that class, the same class applies here.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is GR Shinde from Bhavya Bhanu. So we would like to know whether there is any restriction on type of communication, or is it only satellite communication?
In water purse in acoustic medium, I guess when it comes on top, and the satellite communication is the best way where I can get a varied amount of reception. I guess if you go for RF, then it is limited to the horizon itself, I guess.
Okay.
So the satellite communication gives me a lot of range to which I can transmit the data.
Then is there any targeted band and satellite for communication?
That's up to you to find out. So whatever you find feasible and good enough for the data transmission to go.
Great, sir. Thank you for clarification.
Thank you.
So Iridium is allowed for the communication. Is it correct?
You can go with Iridium. You can go with Starlink.
Yeah,
Whatever you think in the lower Earth orbit, which helps in the data transmission, that can be taken up.
Thank you.
Sir, the primary goal in this challenge is to develop the platform, right?
Right.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So once we are able to prove the hardware component, then the software part becomes a bit easy.
Yeah.
Right. But because that's the major challenge, proving the software, proving the hardware part.
Also, the buoy has to go underwater, or we can have some other arrangement that can go underwater.
No, buoy has to be underwater. Otherwise, that passivity and the stealth thing goes away if somebody detects it there.
Noted, sir. Thank you.
So I hope all the queries regarding this challenge have been answered. In case you have any other query, you can always type in the chat box and sir can respond to it. We can move to the next challenge, which is challenge number 7.
Right. Thank you.
Which is development of indigenous solid state amplifiers. Commander Deepak, I hope you are in the meeting.
Yeah, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, so perfect. So you can take up the challenge, sir. I'll just show the slide. Yeah.
Can you please scroll to that section?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. The main aim of this challenge is that, presently we have got a lot of X-band radars with us. However, all of these radars are TWT based or basically the conventional amplifier based. We are looking at solid state amplifiers to be. Hello? Yeah. We are looking at the firms developing a amplifier which should be solid state amplifier based. Now, I understand that solid state amplifiers are very easily available. For solid state amplifiers should not be that big of a challenge. But let us understand that the main challenge in this would be this entire solid state amplifier has to get integrated with the existing radar systems of the Indian Navy, right? So because we do not intend to change the entire radar system, we are just having an issues on the amplifiers per se. So we would want this to happen. And so I've got certain queries in which people are asking about the power outputs that are expected. So the general power outputs that we are expecting, the average power outputs should be nearly around 200 watts for these radars. And about whether it should be CW or pulse, these generally what we have right now, we have pulse Doppler radars. So that is what we are looking at. Apart from this, we have given a frequency band, an entire frequency band, which is in the X band, which is 8 to 12 gigahertz. So now more details about the specifics, we will be sharing it on a non-disclosure agreement post you are announced as the winner. Because let us understand that all these are very, let us say these are secret information, and I cannot just in an open domain share it with everybody. But yes, once you have been declared as the winner, we'll 100% share all the technical documentation available with us for you to be able to go on board a platform. If you require visits on board a ship, we will ensure that you go on board, you have a look at the system, and accordingly you can have your designed amplifiers getting integrated with the existing form fits, existing systems which are present on board.
Commander Deepak, this is
yes, please.
Sunday from Bhavivanu. Sir, in order to say win a challenge, first I should know what are my demand. That is, what is my form fit requirement? You said 200 watt average power. Is it an power within the pulse, which is called as peak power, or it's an average power over the duty?
It is the average power, average transmitted power. With the
average transmitted power.
With 1 to 5% of duty cycle, this is the average power. This is not the peak power.
Okay. So this translates to 2 kilowatt peak power.
I can no, it will be more. It will be more. The peak powers which are there presently. See, that is what I can say. Presently, what we have is around 8 to 10 kilowatts.
Yeah, but if I am understanding right, PWTs or the tube versions don't permit you a very wider pulse and a very high duty. The advantage of SSPA in their place is you can get a wider pulse. So you get same average power because the wider pulse is permitted in SSPA, which is not the case in case of the tube. So I mean, few cases where I am already working, we are clearly seeing that the tube cannot really go to a duty of 20% or so. So the peak power requirement from the tube is quite high. Whereas in the same place when I am using a SSPA power has come down because I am about to against 1 or 2% duty of the tube. I am operating SSPA with a 20%.
Perfectly right. Exactly. That is why you have actually answered the question yourself. That is why we are trying to shift to the SSPAs, right?
Correct.
So we might not need that much of peak power, but the
Exactly.
intention is, yeah, we might not need. So that is why it is not mentioned in this, and it is. We will not even tell you to achieve that. What we want is that you develop such a transmitter, even if the this transmitter that you develop, if it is getting compatible with my existing system, I'm achieving the ranges, I'm achieving the tracking which I'm supposed to, then the product is well to do. And somebody asked me about the quantity also. So quantities as of now we have indicated as the MOQ as 01, but we know that these radars are available throughout the Navy. If the product is successful, then your SSPAs or your X-band transmitters will be accepted Navy wide.
Okay. But then there will be corresponding change required in your digital signal processing of the radar.
Yeah, that's right. Agreed.
So who is going to work on that? Is that it's been taken again as a challenge or it is already done by somebody?
Nice, sir. It is not a part of the challenge. We'll have to see how much are the level of the changes that we're expecting, and probably during a field visit or analysis of the system when we are doing a feasibility study, at that point of time we can work that out. So if it requires my other developer, the other system developers also to introduce a few changes, we'll work out the modalities once we go on board with the POC, sir.
The Commander Deepak. So in this scenario, I have a difficulty. Okay, suppose I have to write a proposal to you. Okay, with these many open parameters, I am not able to give you a specific proposal. Suppose I am in, for example, I am confused whether I should give a proposal of a 400 watt power amplifier or a 1 kilowatt power amplifier. I should give a proposal of a power amplifier which weighs less or weighs more. I should give a proposal of a power amplifier which is having uh, its own cooling, or the cooling will be taken care. So there are these issues. Even if
Cooling has
others.
to be okay. So cooling has to be self-sustained, right? Cooling has to be yours. Now coming to the form fit of the existing radar, I'm very sorry, but I cannot just tell it right now.
Yeah,
If you are unable, so I cannot share those details with you. Yeah.
I am not going to ask you to share that as an open information. I do agree. I'm just saying that when I have to respond, say suppose I am also having difficulty to express all my thoughts on the open forum, because on the other side I'm also tied by the same secrecy which you demand. So where I am trying to work. So there, in a given scenario, when I have to propose a solution, I should get well awareness of the scenario, isn't it? Then only the solution can be proposed.
Kanishk, I have a question here. Can you just tell me when the PDS PRU is shared with them?
So it is once the challenge is winners are declared, sir.
Once the winners are declared.
Yes, it's after that's the time for compliance of PDS and PRU, sir.
Yeah, because all these details are
Yes,
there
sir.
in the PDS PRU, but I think right now it cannot be shared, na?
So understood, sir. So what we can do is instead of elongating the session, I'll sir give you a
Mm-hmm.
call and we can discuss it off the meeting, sir. What else can be shared,
Okay.
and I'll also take the queries from Shinde sir, and that can also be
Yeah.
shared with you, so that whatever information can be shared on an
Yeah.
open
So
basis, that can be shared, sir.
perfect. So all the participants who are there, whatever specific queries they have, na, I would
Yes, sir.
request the specific questions are asked, because then what we will do, we will share those with you, and we can take a collective decision as whether these details are to be shared outside or not to be shared. But then again, the queries have to be very specific so that we answer just the objective values and not a subjective answer.
Well, Commander Deepak and your team, as you have discussed, we will try to put a specific queries. But I mean, my association with the defense labs and all has always put me that when I put a specific query, the query gets modified when we have a specific application or a specific environment is given for operation. So anyway, let me put my efforts to put the specific
So
queries.
yeah, sir, for this I would say you can just put the queries directly to us. We will, as it is forwarded to the nodal agency for them to answer, and for any other information if they seek, they can directly connect with you, and the communication can be taken forward from there.
Wonderful. Thank you
Okay, sir.
for
Yeah.
being patient with me.
Okay, sir. Uh, Thank you, sir. So I guess any other query, any other specific queries, you can mail it to DIO, and we'll take it forward to the nodal agency. So moving forward, we have challenges from DME. Challenge number 11, which is development of indigenous sea, deep sea seal for shaft line. This will be taken by Commander Prashant Kumar. Commander Prashant, I hope you are in the meeting. Commander Prashant from DME.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm there in the meeting.
Good evening, sir. Sir, I'll just move the slide to challenge 11. You can take it forward, sir. I hope, sir, the slide is visible. Sir. You can take it, sir.
I think request you
Good afternoon,
to
everyone. This is
do.
Commander Aman Banduni. I'm representing DME here.
Yes, sir.
The challenge that is being projected here is the development of a deep sea seal for a specific shaft diameter that we have mentioned, 250 mm.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. That's problem statement 9, sir. So I hope it is visible, sir. You can take it, sir.
Okay. So the problem statement that is flashed now on the screen is regarding the development of the gas turbine generator starter. Now the Navy is employing the Russian origin gas turbine generators for generation of power on board. These generators are coupled up with a starter, a starter motor for starting the gas turbine, which after the as soon as the combustion starts, the generator becomes the gas turbine generator becomes self-sustainable. So to bring this to increase the RPM increase the RPM of this gas turbine generator from 0 to certain limit, this starter pulls the turbo compressor, and the starter is required to pull the RPM of the generator and bring it to the self-sustained RPM. So this generator for this particular starter draws a current of around 1900 to 3000 amperes during the starting, and thereafter it cuts off. Now this starter is primarily being sourced from the Russia, and there is no efforts in Navy which have been made towards introduction of these starters. This is the first time we are taking up this case under IDEX, and we want our the participating firms to provide us some kind of solution for these starters. These starters are available with Navy, and This is all. In any doubts in this, you can put forward a doubt on this forum.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Sri Vaishnavi from Loyal Wingman Technologies.
From?
Loyal Wingman Technologies.
Okay, ma'am.
Sir, actually, according to this problem statement you have mentioned here, what will be the turbine starting speed, sir?
Starting?
Speed.
Turbine starting speed. The starter that I'm talking about takes the RPM from it starts from zero itself. The
Yes,
gas
sir.
turbine will be at 0 RPM. It will pull the RPM from 0 to certain RPM,
Yes,
and
sir.
then it
What
will
is
cut off.
what will be the RPM level, sir? Expected RPM level.
Ma'am, what are you saying? Can you repeat again? You want the cutoff RPM?
Yes, sir.
It will be around, ma'am, 4,500.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank
So
you.
it will build up the gas turbine generator RPM from 0 to 4,500 RPM. Thereafter, it will cut off. The combustion of the gas turbine generator starts, and the gas turbine generator becomes self-sustainable.
Thank you, sir. Sir, another query is they have mentioned that the DC motor is attached to the reduction gearbox. So the shaft
ma'am.
of the DC starter want to be fit into the reduction gearbox means we want to know the size that what size will be the shaft required.
Okay, ma'am. You want basically the dimension of the approximate dimension of the starter and how it is coupled to the gearbox.
Yes, sir.
So the starter size approximately is around 2 feet,
Yes, sir.
and then it is coupled with a it's a Russian coupling. Um, it's called the Paul Oren coupling. With it's kind of a coupling wherein with RPM it connects up with the reduction gear, and at certain RPM when the rotor which is driving, it takes up that speed, it disconnects.
Yes, sir.
So the entire starter size is around approximately 2 feet, and it's coupled onto it is connected to the gearbox.
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, you mentioned some coupling name. What is that? You can repeat it, sir.
The coupling you're saying, it's called the Paul overrun coupling.
Paul overload. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
So with the centrifugal force, with the increased centrifugal force, it connects up to the gearbox, and as the gearbox RPM increases, it disconnects automatically. It's a simple mechanical coupling.
Yes, sir. Understood. Thank
You can have a check on the Google.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anything more?
If I may be permitted to ask a question, please. Am I audible?
Sir, yes, sir.
Good afternoon, and thank you for this debrief. I'm Commodore Bhupesh Tatir, retired. Just wanted to know, do you have the torque data available on this and the frequency? What frequency?
Sir, we'll have the talk data available, sir. Regarding frequency, I'll have to get back, sir.
Okay, so should I just drop in a mail to you? That should be adequate.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. We'll share the documents, sir, regarding the torque and the frequency that you asked, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. That should be enough for me. Thank you.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Are we expecting any more queries from the participants?
I guess there's Mr. Vikas whose hand is up. Mr. Vikas, you have any query? You can please switch on your mic and ask the same. Mr. Vikas. Commander Bhupesh, I guess.
My question was already answered. Thank
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I hope there are no other queries. In case you have any other query, you can always write a mail to us and we'll forward it to the concerned nodal agency and the nodal officer for you for the specific requirements and answers. I hope all the challenges are clear. In case there are certain doubts and I feel there are certain more technical queries, you can just drop us an email. You can use the website to get in touch with us, and specific project officers' numbers are always with you. You can directly DM them your query and they'll forward it to the concerned team and it can be forwarded to the concerned nodal agency. So that would be all for today. I hope you all have the information regarding the portal. We have a new website and a new portal. So if you want, I'll just show you how to apply for the challenges in a minute and then we can close the session. Just a second.
So, I have one question
Hi,
regarding
let
this
me show on this side.
smart communication. Hello?
Yes, Vadia, yeah. Please.
Yeah. After we are successfully making the prototype and giving it to you on the basis of 50% our contribution and 50% from IDEX contribution. What happens then? I mean, would you be taking more from us, or it becomes your? I just wanted to understand how it moves
Mr.
forward.
Vadia, can you please just repeat the query? I guess there was some issues. We were able to hear half of
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, it is regarding the matching contribution, right?
Yeah, after we finish the prototype and give it to you that this is perfectly working prototype, successfully demonstrated and all that. What happens after that? I mean, do we wait for you to issue additional requirements, or it becomes your
Yes, sir.
responsibility?
I'll answer that, sir. So, once the POC is ready, it goes for trial and testing with the concerned nodal agency. Once the trials are done and completed, then the nodal gives us a green light and the report that these trials have been completed successfully. And then the product is moved for procurement. PON is granted from the concerned nodal agency depending on the cost and everything. That is completely the innovators and nodal agency's call. Whatever the final pricing of the product is, that does not live from the product development budget which you give for the IDEX challenge. These are two separate things.
One is the product development costs and that expenditure.
Yes, sir. The product development cost is a provisional cost, which is just for our understanding. It does not entail that the price of the final product will be the same as the product development budget. It can be more or less. That call is completely between the firm and the nodal agency.
So there is no guarantee that we will be continuing to get more orders on the product that we have developed. And
no, sir. There will be a minimum order quantity which will be provided by the nodal agency. After that, in the future, if there is any more update on the software part or upgrade on the technology part, if you are able to cater, then the nodal agency is free to order more items from you. There is no band to which that this is a minimum order or maximum order which they can place. If the nodal agency requires that item in future or at present, they can always connect with you and order.
So, I'll be given a preference that I have built this system.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to have some clarification on my investment that is going to go into this. And how am I going to get it back?
No worries, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope I am able to answer your queries. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Kanish. Let me show on this side.
Yes, sir.
Can you share the PPT which says about the IDEX process? If I can go through, I want to understand how it works.
I'll mail it to you, sir. I saw your chat, sir.
Right, I'll send it to you. Right. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, sir.
Sir,
Mr. Vikas,
can you hear us? Hello.
Yeah. It's, Mr. Vikas, please.
Yeah. Actually, we were trying to get through. Can we speak to the DME rep regarding the GTG 1250 starting system again, please?
I hope Commander Prashant, are you in the meeting? Commander Prashant from DME.
DME.
Commander Prashant from DME, are you in the meeting, sir? So, Vikas, just I think he has left the meeting or there's some technical issue. Whatever your query is, I'll put in my email ID in the chat box. You can just put in the query to me over a mail. I'll forward the same to the concerned nodal.
I think that's perfect. Have you posted it on your chat on the chat
Just
box?
a second, I'm just typing it.
Yeah, Kash.
So I've posted my email ID for any
Yeah.
of the concerned members to post any query regarding any of the challenges which have been discussed today. You can just write to me and I'll forward it to the concerned nodal.
I think this suits.
Okay.
Hi, Ganesh.
Yeah, Mr. San.
This is Colonel Manish here.
Yes, sir. Please tell me.
Hi, Ganesh. Sorry. We have discussed that. I just wanted to discuss something in ADITI too. So what I'll do, I saw your address. I'll just send the query, the set of questions.
Okay, sir.
If we can get it ASAP, because Monday is the submission. We all know about it.
No worries, sir. Just give me the details, sir. Forward me today. I'll forward it to the concerned nodal today itself, sir.
Yeah, it is ADITI PS8.
ADITI PS8. Sir, okay, no worries, sir. You can share the same over the mail, sir.
Done. I'll just do it while we are discussing so that it comes to you.
Perfect, sir. No worries.
Thank you so much for your sweet help.
Yeah. I hope you all are aware of the process to apply for the challenges. Or do we need a minute or two? I'll explain you the how to apply for the challenges if any of the new participants are here.
We are happy to listen to you.
Yeah, just a second. I hope
for everyone benefit, it would be good
to
revisit.
I hope the website is visible to you, sir, to everyone.
Yeah.
There's a login button. You have to click on this login button. If you have an existing account, you can put in the credentials and log in. If you don't have an existing account, you have to register now. Once you register, I'll just show you the Once you log in, you'll have this dashboard. There are the challenges which are open as of now. You just have to click on apply now. And then you have to fill in all the details and submit the required documents which are being asked and click on submit. Once you click on submit, the application will be submitted. For any of the information for the challenges you have applied, you can always go to the left-hand panel and there are the options of applied challenges. You can always go and check the current status. The results for the challenge will also be directly displayed on your account. Plus, it will be also displayed on the website itself in a form of PDF. You can always check. It normally takes a time duration from 2 to 3 months for any of the challenge process to complete and for the results to be declared. For any other information, you can always mail us, and for any of the reward which you'll be getting, that will also be reflected in your portal itself. So we have all collated all the information on your portal, so you don't have to run at different places to get the answers. So it is simplified for the benefit of all the innovators and MSMEs and startups who are applying to the challenge. I hope this is clear to everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. In case of any query you feel which has left unanswered, kindly mail us and we'll forward it ASAP so that you can get the required answer and required information before you apply for a certain challenge. Thank you so much.
Sir, about the problem statement 11, not yet discussed.
Problem statement 11, the NO had a urgent meeting, so he was not able to join, I guess. I'll just get an information from the concerned NO, and I'll forward the information to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank
So
you.
Kanish, thanks a lot. I've sent you an email.
Okay, perfect. I'll just check the email. Sir, it normally reaches us in 15 to 20 minutes. So once I
Okay,
receive the email,
not an issue.
yeah, I'll update. I'll send you a reply that we have received the email.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks a
perfect.
lot. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.